Leylah Fernandez blasts Montreal schedule, National Bank Open controversy. In a surprising turn of events at the National Bank Open in Montreal, Leylah Fernandez, the rising Canadian tennis star, voiced her dissatisfaction with the tournament's scheduling following a disappointing first-round loss. Just 2 days after clinching the title in Washington, Fernandez was swiftly defeated by Australian player Maya Joint in a match that lasted a mere 1 hour and 15 minutes, with a score of 6-4, 6-1. Fernandez, currently ranked 24th in the world, had been hoping for additional rest before her return to the court in Montreal. She expressed her disappointment, stating that she had received a lot of promises that she would be scheduled for a night match, which would have provided her with more time to recover. However, she found out on Sunday, while en route to Montreal, that this arrangement would not be possible. "I did not receive that," Fernandez lamented. "That hurt me because I was very looking forward to playing at night, but I guess it's a little bit of political issues at that point." Instead, the top-seeded Coco Gauff took center stage during the night session, facing off against fellow American Danielle Collins in a match that saw Gauff overcome 23 double faults to secure a hard-fought victory with a score of 7-5, 4-6, 7-6, 2. Valerie Tetreault, the tournament director for the National Bank Open in Montreal, responded to Fernandez's criticism by acknowledging the promise she had made to the young player, but explained that the final scheduling decisions are made by the WTA Tour. "I received the request for her to play in the evening. It's my role to have conversations with the WTA, so I pushed as much as possible for her to have what she wanted," Tetreault said, also noting that exceptions had already been made for Fernandez in the past. Tennis Canada issued a statement reiterating that WTA protocols require all first-round matches to be completed before moving on to the second round, ensuring fairness for all participants. Given Fernandez's late arrival in Montreal following her victory in Washington, the WTA made the decision to schedule her opening match as late as possible within the first-round slots. The tournament saw other notable developments, including the withdrawal of 2019 U.S. Open champion Bianca Andreescu due to an ankle injury sustained during her first-round match, which allowed Mira Andreeva, the number 4 seed, to advance to the third round. Additionally, number 7 seed Jasmine Paolini was upset by Japan's Aoi Ito in a thrilling third-set tiebreaker, while number 8 Emma Navarro easily defeated Rebecca Marino with a score of 6-1, 6-2. This scheduling controversy at the National Bank Open raises interesting questions about player welfare and the balance between tournament logistics and athlete needs. It will be intriguing to see how this issue evolves and whether it leads to any changes in future tournament scheduling. Leylah Fernandez's disappointing loss at Canadian Open scheduling controversy. For tennis fans in Montreal, the excitement was palpable as hometown hero Leylah Fernandez took to the court at the National Bank Open. But here's where it gets heartbreaking. Despite the electric atmosphere and fervent support, Fernandez's journey ended abruptly in a disappointing singles loss. This defeat, coming just days after her monumental win at the City DC Open, left fans and critics alike questioning the circumstances surrounding her performance. Carol Lalonde, a Montreal resident, captured the sentiment perfectly. "It's just fun to watch great tennis, especially when it's someone we know and love." Yet the joy was short-lived, as Fernandez, a 22-year-old Laval native, fell in straight sets, 6-4, 6-1, to 19-year-old Australian Maya Joint, ranked number 45 in the world. "We would have loved to see her win here," added Gaëtan Martin, Lalonde's husband, who has followed Fernandez's career since her early days. "It's always special when local talent shines on home soil." And this is the part most people miss. Fernandez's loss wasn't just about her performance on the court. It was also about the behind-the-scenes challenges she faced. After clinching her biggest career title in DC on Sunday, Fernandez had little time to rest before her Montreal match. She arrived in the city around 2 a.m. Monday, slept only a few hours, and then attended an event for her foundation. The mental fatigue didn't help me stay positive. Fernandez admitted tearfully. She had hoped for a night match to allow more recovery time, but was scheduled to play in the afternoon heat, which soared to nearly 30 degrees Celsius. Tournament director Valerie Tetreault acknowledged the situation, stating, "I fought for her to get the time she needed, but the WTA Tour's scheduling protocols left little room for exceptions." Tennis Canada echoed this, emphasizing that first-round matches must be completed before second-round matches to ensure fairness. However, Fernandez felt let down by the WTA's handling of the situation, particularly the sarcastic tone used when discussing her scheduling concerns with her father and coach. 2 or 3 extra hours of rest could have made a difference, she said, sparking a debate about player welfare and tournament logistics. But here's where it gets controversial. While some argue that Fernandez's tight schedule was unavoidable, others question whether more could have been done to accommodate her. Artur Puskasu, a spectator, noted, "Playing at home adds pressure, and fatigue only amplifies it." Lucille Whistle, a longtime follower of Fernandez's career, added, "It's normal to lose after a big win, but the circumstances here feel unfair." Fernandez's loss was one of several setbacks for Canadian women at the tournament. Of the 9 Canadians in the main draw, 7 were eliminated by Tuesday, including Bianca Andreescu, who withdrew due to an ankle injury. Rebecca Marino and several others also fell in early rounds, leaving Eugenie Bouchard and Victoria Mboko as the only Canadian women remaining in the singles draw. Mboko, who defeated 23rd-seeded Sofia Kenin, now faces Marie Bouskova in the 3rd round. Despite the singles disappointment, Fernandez returned to the court on Wednesday for a doubles match with her sister Bianca against Italy's Sara Errani and Jasmine Paolini. The sisters, ranked 41st and 189th in doubles respectively, faced a tough challenge against the 6th-seeded Italian duo. Here's a thought-provoking question for you. Should tournament organizers and governing bodies like the WTA prioritize player welfare over strict scheduling protocols, especially for hometown stars? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This debate is far from over. Canadian Open controversy. Leylah Fernandez exit sparks scheduling outrage. The Canadian Open may have just shot itself in the foot with a scheduling blunder that could have lasting repercussions. Imagine this. Leylah Fernandez, fresh off a triumphant win at the Washington Open, steps onto the court at the Canadian Open, only to be swiftly defeated by Maya Joint in the 1st round. The 22-year-old Fernandez had just clinched her 4th WTA title, showcasing her prowess against formidable opponents like Elena Rybakina and Jessica Pegula. But here's where it gets controversial. Despite her stellar performance, Fernandez was knocked out in a surprising 6-4, 6-1 loss to the 19-year-old Joint. The twist? Fernandez had defeated Joint just days earlier in the 1st round of the Washington Open. So, what went wrong? The answer lies in the hectic scheduling. Fernandez had less than 2 days to travel from Washington to Montreal and prepare for her match. This tight turnaround likely took a toll on her performance, both physically and mentally. The Canadian Open organizers had promised Fernandez a night match, giving her more time to recover. But this promise was not kept, and Fernandez was left frustrated and disappointed. The WTA Tour is notoriously demanding, with extensive travel and tight schedules. The Canadian Open should have taken this into account, especially considering Fernandez's recent success and the need for adequate recovery time. And this is the part most people miss. The scheduling decision not only affected Fernandez's performance, but also robbed the tournament of a potential deep run by a local star. Fernandez, who has risen to 24th in the WTA rankings, could have been a major draw for fans. Instead, she was left to reflect on her poor performance and the missed opportunity. In her post-match press conference, Fernandez expressed her frustration. The short turnaround. It felt great being on court, hearing the fans and feeling their support. It was awesome, she said. I'm just disappointed with my level of play, and it wasn't fair for them. I mean, it was a very, very low level. She also mentioned the broken promise of a night match, highlighting the political issues that may have influenced the scheduling. But Fernandez wasn't the only Canadian star to exit the tournament early. Denis Shapovalov, another major hope for Canada, was defeated by young American star Lerner Tien. Despite his recent good form, including winning the Los Cabos Open, Shapovalov lost 6-7, 5-7 to Tien. This means the Canadian Open has lost both of its major stars in the early stages. However, there's still a glimmer of hope for Canadian fans. Eugenie Bouchard, the former Wimbledon finalist, remains in the draw for the women's singles title. Bouchard, who is set to retire from the sport following the tournament, could provide a memorable send-off for herself and her fans. So what do you think? Was the scheduling blunder a major oversight by the Canadian Open organizers? Or was it an unavoidable consequence of the demanding WTA Tour? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe the organizers should prioritize player recovery time? Or is the current scheduling system fair and balanced? Let's hear your opinions.